This is the Morning Shower.
Brought to you by Late Night Hump.
Let the news wash over you.
With Jordan Freed,
Brendan O'Brien,
and Reena Ezra.
These are your ShowerHead Lines.
Perus presidential election took a surprise turn when a socialist candidate who had slipped under the radar prior to polling day took the lead in the first round ballot as angry voters looked for change. Pedro Castillo, a 51-year-old union leader and primary school teacher, was on course to take first spot after Sunday's voting, which would see him face off against a conservative or liberal rival in a second-round head-to-head in June. For someone who believes in socialism, he's sure taking a lot of the votes for himself.
Research presented at the American Chemical Society meeting by scientists from the Memorial University of Newfoundland in Canada shows they have developed a way to turn fish waste into eco-friendly plastics. This green alternative to plastics is very similar to polyurethane, except it is free of petroleum-derived oil, it will degrade more easily, and does not add additional microplastics to the environment. Here's hoping that this good news about fish-based plastics is not a fluke.
Las Vegas area water officials have spent 2 decades trying to get people to replace thirsty greenery with desert plants, and now they're asking the Nevada legislature to outlaw roughly 40% of the turf that's left. They say this ornamental grass requires 4 times as much water as drought-tolerant landscaping, like cactus and other succulents. By ripping it out, they estimate the region can reduce annual water consumption by roughly 15% and save about 14 gallons per person per day. To quote Princess Diaries, "Get off the grass!"
Germany's biggest selling daily newspaper, Bild, plans to launch a television channel that will go on air before the country's election in late September, its publisher said Monday. Publisher Axel Springer said that the core of the new Bild channel's schedule will be up to 6 hours daily of live programming starting in the morning. You know what they say, if you build it, they will come.
NASA will land the first person of color on the moon, who is also to be the first woman on the moon, with the Artemis program, according to NASA's acting administrator, Steve Jurczyk. It's nice to see that in outer space, people of color are being treated with respect and dignity. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about the people of color in Minneapolis.
The Met Gala is coming back. Actually, twice. The Metropolitan Museum of Art announced Monday that the annual high-wattage celebration of both fashion and celebrity, held virtually last year because of the pandemic, will return in person. First in September, and then again on its usual date on the first Monday in May. But unfortunately, you're not invited to either.
Officials in northern China have inaugurated what they say is the world's first traffic signal for camels. Camel riding tours are a big attraction for visitors to the area, but visitors to Mingsha Mountain in the Crescent Spring will now be safe from camel collisions thanks to the new traffic signal, which turns green to let animals cross and red to make them stop. While the long-asked question of why did the chicken cross the road remains unanswered, at least we know how the camel crossed the road.
Police transparency in Hudson County will be greatly enhanced in the coming months as nearly all cops begin wearing body cameras while on duty. No guarantee yet on whether the cops will turn the body cameras on.
Kellen Spadoni, a former 911 dispatcher in New Orleans, was arrested last week on accusations of pocketing the funds that were overpaid to her. The local media outlet NOLA.com reported that Spadoni was meant to receive $82.56 from Charles Schwab, but the company ended up transferring $1,205,619 into her brokerage account. I don't blame her for keeping the money. Maybe Uncle Chucky Schwab was just feeling generous that day.
More than a year and a half ahead of the 2022 general election, a Democratic state lawmaker is mounting a bid to unseat Republican U.S. Senator Tim Scott, saying her campaign, with the aim of registering 150,000 new voters across South Carolina, has what it takes to tighten the margin Democrats have struggled to close in statewide elections. A lesson to you all: if you don't have the votes to win an election, just make more.
Thank you for showering with us.
Lather, rinse, repeat every day before noon.
Scrub-a-dub-dub at latenighthump.com.